Russell, you were mentioning yesterday in your talk that oftentimes you're mistaken for like, oh, I look 11 years old. Oh, poor Russell, looks like he's 11. Oh. You know, Russell, have you considered, my friend, maybe the fact that you made a product on how to build potato guns might have made people think you were 11? I don't know, I'm just a theory, just a theory.
My name is Russell Brunson, and I'm part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We don't rely on cash from venture capitalists to get started, and we don't even have goals to go public either. In fact, our motivation is the exact opposite. You see, we have products and services and things that we know change people's lives. But because we're fighting against the big brands, people with literally unlimited budgets, we have to do things differently. We have to do things smarter. We don't have financial safety nets because every test we take is with our own money. We have to be profitable from day number one. So how do we do that? How is that even possible? If you ask the MBAs or look at your college textbooks, they will tell you that what we are doing is impossible, yet it's happening every single day. And it's happening through an art and a science that we call funnel hacking. It's not really something that I can explain to you, it's something I have to show you. These stories are a glimpse of entrepreneurs just like you who have a dream and a vision who want to change the world in their own little way. I use the funnel hacking process to help make their dreams become a reality. Yes, we are funnel hackers, and these are our stories. Every year, people ask me, how do I pick the speaker for Funnel Hacking Live? When I first met Sean Stephenson for the first time, I knew within half a second, I was like, I want Sean on our stage. Now, I had no idea that he was going to spend the first 15 minutes of his presentation roasting me and making fun of me, but it was really, really cool for a couple reasons. One, it was cool to see how it tied the audience and bonded them to him, which was really cool. And second off, it was just always funny to hear what people really think about you.
You're so clean and good. How many people deep down inside have a little bit of the feeling that I have? You would just love to see Russell in sweatpants with Cheetos ripped on him and you know, he's angry and his hair's all messed up and he's cussing like a sailor. How many people, am I the only one that fantasizes about this?
Every Funnel Hacking Live, we're trying to build a storyline of what are the community as a whole, what are they struggling with, where are they stuck, what are they trying to figure out. And so many people in our community are trying to get their message, try to get their voice, try to get things out, and they get frustrated and struggled by the fact that they're trying to help all these people. And a lot of times, no matter how many people you try to help, a lot of times you just can't help them. A lot of times it's family members or friends or people that you're trying to figure out, how can I change that person's life, but they won't come and listen to your product or your service or the thing that you're trying to sell. And one of my favorite parts of Sean's presentation, when he talked about how do you know who to save? How do you know who to help first? And so I actually want to show you guys that clip from Funnel Hacking Live because it's one of my favorite from all the clips, from all the speakers ever inside of Funnel Hacking Live, was this part of the presentation that Sean gave.
How many people have ever made a video on YouTube or Facebook and it only had 10 to 30 or 100 views and you kind of were pissed? Oh, I wish I had more visibility. Why, these 15 souls needed what you just sent. When the Coast Guard goes out on a stormy night to rescue a boat that is capsized, they bring their helicopter and they hover over top of the boat and they realize there's more people in the water than there's space in the helicopter. Who do they save? You know what their motto is? We can only save the people who swim toward us. I can only help those that swim toward me. You will go nuts if you try to help people that do not want your help, but claim that they do. The moment you try to help somebody and they push you back, you have to say, look, you know what? I love you. I'm gonna be over there. Hopefully you'll swim toward me at some point. If you don't, this helicopter's leaving. The quickest way for you to drown is to try to help somebody that's flailing around in the water or that's swimming away from you when there's all these people that are actually wanting to swim toward you. You know those 15 likes on that YouTube video of yours? They're the ones swimming toward you.
As you can tell from that clip, Sean's entire presentation was amazing, but that was definitely the part that was most impactful for me. Understanding that we can't help and save everybody, but we can start working towards helping those people who are swimming towards us. And a lot of times inside of our community, people ask me, like, how do I get my message out? How do I find the people and get them to come to me? And I think at first it takes you learning your voice and finding it, practicing, doing Facebook Lives, doing podcasts, doing things to kind of figure out what your message is. And as you start doing those things, people will start resonating with you, which is magical. But then the second piece is like, how do you capture that story in a way that's really going to be impactful for people? Because Sean gave us such an amazing gift of funnel hacking live, we wanted to give him a gift as well. So we decided to jump in a plane, both Brandon Fisher and I, and fly to Arizona to help capture Sean's story in a way that he could use to bring more people to him. That's regular bacon.
But it's not just regular.
It's chocolate bacon.
If you're gonna start making it right now.
Yeah. What is that, chef?
All right, let's get going.
All right, Sean, what does Snoop Dogg wash his clothes with?
Yeah. Oh, welcome to the laboratory, Success Labs.
Now, when we first came to Arizona, we were planning on making one core video, but after spending time with Sean on the whiteboard, mapping a bunch of things out, we decided that it wasn't just one video we needed. We actually needed probably about 3 or 4 different indoctrination videos to take somebody on a journey, help them understand who Sean was, to build connection with them, build rapport, and make them want to be working closer with him. And so that's what we kind of decided. And so we went and filmed these videos capturing Sean's story. I want to show you just one of them right now.
People are always curious about, like, have I always been this positive? Have I always had a good outlook on life? And I said, you know, it really all stems back to one moment. I was having challenges growing up with broken bones with my condition, and people would stare at me, and I dealt with a lot of challenges living in this container. And my favorite day of the year was Halloween. I loved Halloween. And most kids like Halloween because of the costumes and the party and the candy. But I loved it because it was the one day out of the year that everybody got dressed up and I could finally blend in. And it was like a magical day where I didn't have a disability in people's eyes. And my mom was in the kitchen, she was packing up our lunches and she was getting everything out to the minivan, and I was laying on the floor and I was rolling around. And I catch my left leg on the corner of the door, and I bent it back and I snapped it at the femur. And in that moment, there's a bit of a time delay between hearing the sound of the snap and feeling the pain, but it's like an eternity because you know what's coming. And I was just so angry because I knew I was gonna miss the party, and I knew I was gonna miss that one day where I got to feel normal. And my mom comes running in the room and she kneels down beside me, and she could just calm me down. There's nothing really she could do for me medically because my bones couldn't be set like somebody else's, taken to the hospital. And so my mom just had to keep me immobilized for 4 to 6 weeks wherever I would break a bone. And she would play this game with me as any parent who would want to take their children away from pain. She said, "What was your favorite part about our last vacation?" But that day I was so angry, and she could see that anger in my eyes. So she leaned back and she formulated another question. And then she asked me, "Sean, is this going to be a gift or a burden in your life?" And I'm thinking, is she crazy? A gift? And something magical happened though before I could respond. It's like I got clarity on my life. And I realized that she was basically saying, are you going to use this as an excuse for the rest of your life as why you're not happy and why you're not going to take a positive outlook? Or are you going to use this as an example for yourself and others to love your life amidst your pain? Because we all fracture. We all have fractures in our marriage, or fractures in our business, or fractures in raising our children, when you find that there's a purpose to your pain, it doesn't make the pain go away. It just gives you the fuel to keep going through it and know that it's not going to be there forever. And it really just shifted my whole attitude about life. I realized that you have control over what you make things mean and how you interpret things. And it was in that moment I really honestly started to see myself as on a mission here in this container. The purpose of this whole club is to bring together a group of people who want to support each other and empower each other to win. You have to have a tribe. You cannot succeed alone in life. It's so hard to go through life by yourself and try to be the only person that is picking yourself back up. It's good to be in a space where you have people that are not just your cheerleaders, but giving you good suggestions on how you can handle those challenges. So it's something I'm really excited about because this is where people can go to get their mind and their heart on the same page.
As you can tell, Sean's got an amazing story, but people always ask me like, well, Russell, how do I do videos like that? And they think that they need emotional videos, like they think that they need to be crying, and they'll record a video and they don't cry, and they'll try again, and they're like, I didn't cry, it's not emotion. But you don't understand, emotion is not just crying. Like that, there's a time and a place for that. But emotion is excitement, it's energy, it's showing how you actually feel. If you watch any of my videos, you watch this video, like I'm excited right now, as you can probably tell from my eyes and my voice and my voice fluctuations. And people are attracted to energy. So the more emotion you can show, it could be emotional, crying, it could be sad, it could be happy, it could be joy, it could be just energy, it could be excitement. Like that's the key to really making a video that people are gonna emotionally connect with, is actually showing your true emotions about how you feel. And I know that sometimes you put a camera on, you get nervous and you get awkward, but the key is really coming back to a state and remembering what it was that got you so excited, and then telling people that story from that state. If you do that, they're gonna feel exactly what you felt when you were in that state the first time it actually happened to you. Want more marketing secrets? If so, then go get your copies of my 2 best-selling books. Book number 1 is called Expert Secrets, and you can get a free copy at expertsecrets.com. And book number 2 is called .com Secrets, and you can get your free copy at .comsecrets.com. Inside these 2 books, you'll find my top 35 secrets that we've used to become the fastest growing non-VC-backed SaaS startup company in the world. One of my favorite things about hanging out with Sean is just like how he made fun of me on stage in front of everybody, pretty much made fun of me and Brandon the entire rest of the trip. All you other Slim Shadys.
Don't ask me to please stand up to this, Benson.
Snoop Dogg, take 1.
Blatch. I'm a unicorn. Gosh. Carry your own bag, Russell. Double my salary. Jeez. I got a funnel for you. I mean, I even crushed the tater tots for you.
All right, so Brandon has been working on this business called Video Enders. That basically, the end of a video, there's a thing that points you to like, click down here, opt in over here. It kind of tells you what to do. In fact, created a brand new tagline for him from his jokes.
I'm helping her get rich. Video Enders. We tell you where to go, stupid.
Want more marketing secrets? If so, then go get your copies of my 2 best-selling books. Book number 1 is called Expert Secrets, and you can get a free copy at expertsecrets.com. And book number 2 is called .com Secrets, and you can get your free copy at .comsecrets.com. Inside these 2 books, you'll find my top 35 secrets that we've used to become the fastest growing non-VC-backed SaaS startup company in the world. All right, we're back from Arizona, and this week we're spending a lot of time working on videos, because videos are the connection point in almost every single funnel, every single ad. And if you remember the episode a little while ago, the 24 episode where we built out 3 or 4 funnels in a 24-hour period of time, one of the funnels we built was for a product called Wake Shake. And the Wake Shake video, if I'm completely honest, when all was said and done, we weren't very happy with it. And we wanted to redo it. We wanted to make something that was funnier, something that caused emotion, we got people to laugh, but also something that placed a seed of doubt. One of the most powerful selling mechanisms we have, and the most powerful tools, is to place a seed of doubt inside the mind of a customer for all the other alternatives besides your product and your service. Now, inside of Wake Shake, the type of protein is collagen protein, which has a whole bunch of really good benefits, helps your skin, helps your nails, but it also doesn't have whey in it. And so from this video, we wanted to place a seed of doubt showing that whey is the thing that causes the problems. It causes the gas and the bloating and a lot of the different problems inside of protein. So that way, next time somebody wanted to grab a protein shake, they're gonna look if it's whey, they're not gonna want to drink it. Instead, they're gonna want a whey shake. And so we had a lot of fun refilming this video with Jared and Nicole, who have helped us on tons of different projects, as you've probably seen in the past. And this is the new video we made for Wake Shake.
After drinking your protein shake, do you ever have bloating, constipation, cramps, increased bowel movements, problem moving, nausea, reduced appetite, a swelling of your limbs, brain fog, sore joints, upset stomach, and, worst of all, is it giving you gas? No, that is not a natural side effect of good protein. It's your body freaking out because it's allergic to the whey protein found inside your shake. Yep, USA Today said that 60% of adults can't actually digest milk products. So what happens when you can't digest something? You guessed it. So that makes your protein drink about as slimming as this whey-filled Ben & Jerry's. You might as well polish that off. Chances are, if you're drinking any whey protein drink, that's what's making you fat. You need an alternative. Something that will give your body the proteins you need, but without all the gas. You need Wake Shake. You can drink a caramel latte Wake Shake, or dump your sugar-full Starbucks into your whey shake. And get fat. If this video is live now, then we have Wake Shake in stock. And you better get it before it's gone again. In fact, I'd recommend stocking up. You'd hate for your kids to go hungry. Or have to go back to eating Ben & Jerry's for dessert. Or worse yet, go back to whey and start fumigating your house all on your own. So get some Wake Shake now. Everyone around you will be happy you did.
So the important lesson I want you to learn from this is that every time you put a video out there, it's not always gonna work the first time. Sometimes you have to do it over and over and over again. But have fun with the process, make it enjoyable. Like, all of us are literally running our own little mini ad agencies, which is so exciting to think about. And so have some fun with the creative and figuring out how to capture the stories in a video that's gonna get somebody to move and take action. Now, next video I want to share with you guys that we created was one for a friend named Tim Larkin. Now, Tim runs a business teaching people self-defense, but not normal self-defense. This is basically, if somebody comes and attacks you, how do you put them out? How do you pop their eyeball out? How do you kill them by karate chopping them in the throat before they have a chance to attack you? And he's told me about this for a long time, and he wanted some help with the funnel. I said, okay, this is the deal. I would love to help you with the video from your funnel, but first off, I want you to come to Boise and actually train me and train my team, so that way if somebody meets me in the street, I can pop their eye out or choke them out, whatever it is we needed to do. And it's lucky for us, Tim and his entire team flew out and gave us a 2-day training in my wrestling room, showing us how to defend ourselves in case of an attack.
Strike. First or second knuckle, we want all 5 of them to be wet. And I do this. I go there. If I've done that correctly, coming off the wall with my body weight and the eyes available to me. Hit high sternum, it goes right up into the neck every time. It's gonna resist for a second and then break. And what we're doing is we wanna compress and crush the bone, find the target, strike the target. When you're throwing something with body weight, find a target. Without doing anything, I'd much rather be here. Everything I need right now is here, and that's back there, you know. Come through. Want that eye.
All right, now after Tim spent 2 days with us, training us, which we had so much fun, we started looking at his funnel and figured out why it wasn't working as well as they wanted to. One of the biggest problems was the ads they were using were all showing tons and tons of violence, which worked good through email and through banner ads, but when you started trying to go to Facebook and other platforms, they just don't allow violence in their video ads and things like that. I said, you know, Tim, your story is amazing. Let's try to capture it in a way that's not violent, showing people attacking each other, but it's finding a way that's emotional, like actually telling your story, like why you do what you do, why you're so passionate about it. And so we set up a camera and we had a chance to capture this story of Tim telling his story about why he does what he does.
And one of the presentations I did, they took us all on a really nice cruise. And they had asked me at one point that a lot of the girls were going off to college in the next year. And everybody's concerned about their self-protection. And would I do an extra class where the dads and the daughters could come and they could go through a training. I had one girl that came in, and she truly, if you've seen the movie Legally Blonde, this was the Reese Witherspoon character in life. I mean, totally had the LA talk down, and she was not happy that Dad had her come and take away 2 days, basically, of the cruise. She went through the course, and she did everything. And about 2.5 years later, she came in unannounced to one of my New York seminars, and she knew right away. She looked at me, she goes, "Oh, you haven't heard what happened?" I don't know what happened. She'd gone to college the following year. She had a dorm room on the first floor of a dorm. They constantly left their door and their windows open. The guy that attacked her had been casing the place for about 2 weeks, and he got their patterns down, and he understood that her roommate would spend at least 2 to 3 nights a week with her boyfriend in another part of the campus. And one night she woke up literally to a guy on top of her. You know, he's a 230-pound male. And the first thing that popped into her head was the training that she had with us. And she understood that bigger, faster, stronger threat. He's on top of me. I can't change this, but I also know I only have that one chance. She was able to draw him in. He adjusted, and when he did that, he brought his head closer, and that's when she was able to reach around and attack his eye. And she knew to hold on to him because he's much bigger, stronger, because she knew that people violently react away from that type of an injury. So much so that he pulled her up off the bed, and they went down, hit the hardwood floor. When they hit the hardwood floor, and she kind of felt his body just kind of relax and go like that, and that gave her opportunity to run down the hall and start screaming for help. By the time they came back, the rapist had asphyxiated and died. They later found out this guy had been going for the last 6 years to various campuses and doing this type of sexual assaults on women. When I hear from somebody like this girl, or I've had various doctors, people that are there just trying to help people or just completely innocent, it makes it all worthwhile to do that, because oftentimes you're not sure. Like with her, I didn't think I reached her at all. I'm gonna literally show you how to injure the human body, break a structure or sensory system in the human body to save your life, and you're gonna know physiologically what happens to the body and why you need to be able to do that and what the ramifications are. And the idea is, if the brain has not gone there before, it won't be there for you. And the perfect example is in sexual assaults, oftentimes with women, the perpetrator, when they catch him, he'll have scratches all down his face, all down his face. So that she had the ability to reach to there. All that did was put his skin underneath her fingernails. Now that helped solve her murder. Whereas if she just understood that if she just penetrated the plane into the eye, that would have affected a real injury that would have given her a much better chance of surviving that situation. Unfortunately, to get people there and to have them trained correctly, I have to give them the physical training of how to actually protect themselves when they have no choice. And that involves using the tool of violence.
Now, the last video we're going to dive into today was a really fun project we had. It was a product we created called Funnel Graffiti, which was basically these little stickers you could go and you could put on a window or on a mirror and map out your funnels before you build them inside of ClickFunnels. And so we had the product. We're trying to figure out what's a fun, exciting way we can make a video for this. So I called up Brandon, had him come over. I called up Jared, Nicole, and we sat down. We started brainstorming, like, how can we make something fun and exciting to get people to want to buy this product? And so we started brainstorming, like, what are all the different ways that people build funnels right now? And one of them that was kind of funny was, maybe in the shower, you're mapping it out in the shower. And then we kind of took it to the next level, like, well, what if you use your wife's lipstick and actually mapped it out with lipstick in the shower? And thought, well, what if the couple's out to lunch or out to dinner and they're making it inside their food? We talked about, what if there's this place in downtown Boise called Freak Alley, which is this big, huge graffiti street, and they rent out different spots, different local artists to come and do graffiti. And we thought, how cool would it be if we could actually like graffiti us doing a funnel there as well? And it's kind of a funny story because we called them up and it just turned out, it happened to be that they, once a year, they bring in new artists to go and do graffiti here in Freak Alley. And it was just during that time where they're about to have the new artists come in. They said, well, you can come in, but you've got like a 1-day window. You have to get the whole thing done today because next day the new artists are coming in with all the new graffiti. And so I call up my buddy Rob, and if you haven't met Rob yet, Rob did all the graffiti design painting in my wrestling room. He's done tons of logo design art for us. He's one of the most amazing, talented designers I've ever met in my life. I called him, I said, Rob, I want to fly you to Boise to come do funnel graffiti and literally spray paint funnels on the side of a wall. And obviously he was in. We flew him down and went to Freak Alley to go and create some of the footage for the funnel graffiti video.
Okay, I'm ready to hit start.
Okay.
Ready to run with this if he's ready.
All right, so we got the time lapse set up. We got a bunch of Kessler gear going, and then we got other time lapses going. We're just time lapsing time lapses that are time lapsing those time lapses. It's getting pretty crazy.
Something like that and then big. Whatever. That'd be dope. It's easy under One of the other things I really wanted to do is I wanted a cop car because I thought that would be really, really funny. But apparently it's harder to get a cop to come and just flip the sirens on than we thought. So Brandon figured out a way to make that possible. And so we had these cop car lights. And anyway, it's amazing. And so I'm going to show you guys the video for the Funnel Graffiti right now.
Jared!
Howdy. Well, this is my book funnel. It's an opt-in right here with their name and their email address and a submit button in the video. Then they come over here to the confirmation page. If they don't opt in, they can come here to our Facebook
Jared,
follow-up.
is that my lipstick?
I don't know, is yours the Rouge de Livre?
It's my lipstick. Honey, there has to be a better way.
Jared, are you using my noodles?
Yes, but I had this great idea. It's an opt-in funnel with a video sales letter right here, confirmation. This is a downsell if they don't purchase
Jared,
this with email.
there has got to be a better way.
We've got the name and the email address, and then this is confirmation page. And then up here, we're gonna have some email confirmations and some follow-ups like this, and then we have the webinar registration.
Okay, honey, this is great, but we have a reservation in 5 minutes.
Come on, you can't tell me that this isn't the best date ever. We gotta go.
You told me anybody could paint here.
I may have overstated. Let's go, let's go,
There
go,
has got to be a better way.
go, go.
Capitol Hill to work out a...
Aaron Haynes, Sports Center anchor, ESPN.
Honey.
Hey.
Tune in.
I was right.
About what this time?
Well, there is a better way. I got you a present.
What? What is this? Funnel Graffiti? Are these stickers?
Reusable stickers. You can do it on a window. Obviously, you do it on whiteboard. You could do it on the refrigerator, as long as your daughters aren't using the refrigerator magnets. You can do it on the TV even, as long as I'm not watching The Bachelor or Bachelorette.
Nice.
You know, you could even do this in the car, as long as I'm driving.
Okay. We could do affiliates on our webinar to promote the webinar.
No more lipstick, no more noodles, no more spray paint.
How much did this cost?
Free?
What? I can build funnels? Yes, I can build funnels!
All right, that project was a ton of fun. It was a lot of work, but it turned out really, really cool and sold a ton of funnel graffiti for us. And so if you felt like during this episode, watching these different videos, seeing what we did with Sean, seeing what we did with Wake Shake, seeing what we did with funnel graffiti, any of these things, want to understand that this is the type of artisticness that you got to put into your funnels. Funnels are very much like the science, like page 1, page 2, page 3, but it's the art that gets people to buy. It's thinking like an ad agency. What are the videos that are going to hook people, make them laugh, make them cry, get them to want to move forward, move towards you. And that's really the goal of this entire episode we want to share with you is have some fun while creating your videos and your messaging, because that's what gets people to come towards you, just like Sean talked about at the very beginning from Funnel Hacking Live. I want you guys to remember that as you're building your funnels, and remember, you're just one funnel away. Next time on Funnel Hacker TV, we're going to take you behind the scenes to meet my original mentor, the godfather of internet marketing himself, Mark Joyner. Watch as we take one of his best-selling books, Mind Control Marketing, create a new video, create a new funnel, and launch it to a brand new audience. We are Funnel Hackers, and these are our stories.